Ernesto Miranda's 1963 mugshot holds the key to understanding how one criminal case completely transformed American law enforcement forever. Ernesto Arturo Miranda was born on March 9, 1941, in Mesa, Arizona. From a young age, he built a troubled record with the law. By his mid-teens, he had already been convicted of assault, burglary, and even an attempted rape at about age 15. These offenses landed him in reform school at the Arizona State Industrial School for Boys, but time there did little to change his path. In the years that followed, he picked up further convictions in California and Tennessee, and during a stint in the military, he was even subjected to a court-martial. His youth was defined less by rehabilitation and more by a steady pattern of criminal behavior. This 23-year-old ex-con prowled Phoenix streets until he spotted an 18-year-old woman walking home alone. He forced her into his car, tied her hands, and sexually assaulted her before driving her home. Within days, police arrested him for kidnapping, rape, and robbery. On March 13th to 14th, detectives Carol Cooley and Wilfred Young arrested him at his home. He was quickly placed in a lineup where the victim identified him, and afterwards, he was taken into interrogation. Detectives questioned Miranda for just 2 hours before he signed a full written confession describing exactly how he grabbed the victim, tied her up, and committed the assault. He even ended his confession with the bizarre request asking the victim to pray for him. The trial seemed straightforward, with clear evidence. The victim testified against him, while the jury examined his handwritten confession, admitting to every detail of the crime. Miranda was convicted and sentenced to decades behind bars, but 3 years later, the Supreme Court made a shocking decision that changed everything. They threw out his conviction not because Miranda was innocent or because the evidence was fabricated. The court ruled that police violated his rights by failing to inform him he could remain silent or request an attorney before questioning. The justices created an entirely new rule requiring police to read suspects their rights before interrogation. They called it the Miranda warning after this very case. Overnight, a man who admitted to kidnapping and rape was declared unfairly treated because officers didn't recite words that never existed before. Arizona prosecutors refused to give up and retried Miranda using only the victim's testimony and physical evidence. Once again, he was found guilty and returned to prison where justice demanded he belong. The Supreme Court's decision prioritized legal procedure over obvious truth. Dangerous criminals could now escape consequences on technical violations rather than focusing on protecting innocent victims from harm. Miranda was eventually paroled from prison after serving his sentence, but in 1976, he got into a heated argument at a Phoenix bar that turned deadly. Someone stabbed him to death. And here's the twist of fate. When police caught a suspect, he exercised his Miranda rights and refused to talk. Without enough evidence, the killer was never convicted. Ernesto Miranda wasn't innocent. He was guilty. And in the end, the very rule his case created helped his own murderer escape justice. That's the danger when courts elevate procedure above truth. Justice suffers, and society pays the price.